So we also just came to know, and we just got the archaeological proof a few years ago. And you can Google it. I don't dwell deeply on that. And this is the day 900,000 days after the Buddha Parinibbana. This is the day one. And this is today, 900,000 days after the Buddha said something to the 60 ones. The world has changed a lot. Yeah, the Buddha said to sit in front of the TV, which is a silent reflection. The question is, are we able to work for the happiness of the human beings and the Deva today? In today's world, talking about today's world. Okay, let's go together and see. How? The question is how. While I'm talking to you, so my students and some of my friends are watching me from Cambodia live.
Cambodia.
So this is today's world, not 2,000 years ago world. Today's world is very fast, very modern. And I would like to start from a very negative side. As missionaries, right now we do have a misconception among the Buddhist world, especially from the non-Buddhists. They find it very difficult to understand what is Buddhism, because we do have many kinds of Buddhism. We say there are three: Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. And this is, in the reality, the non-Buddhists always had a doubt. What kind of Buddhism? When I was in US, the common question imposed on me is, what kind of Buddhism are you practice? So this is a misconception which had been widely in the public. So as missionaries, as a Buddhist monk, wherever, so please try to study each other. Theravada, Vajrayana, Mahayana. During the Buddha's time, one Buddha, one Buddhism. Nowadays, one Buddha, many Buddhism. And we Buddhists do not know each other well. We know, but not deeply. To be honest, I really don't understand. I don't understand deeply what the Vajrayana brings. I don't understand. I read, but I don't go deeply as one. So we Buddhists do not each other. My suggestion is, it's better to understand each other well, learn from each other in order to expel this sort of conception. This is all monks recently in China. And one of my senior monks who extremely rare get out of the country and he joined this conference, he asked me, are all these monks? I said, yes. And he said, they are different from us. I said, yes, they are different from us, but they are monks. I said, oh, Buddha, what's going on? This is happening on the ground. So please, try to know each other better. And here, today, today's world is secularism, naturalism, skepticism, distractions. So, in today's world, people like to be free. They're free. So some people like to be free from religion attached to it. They don't want to have the religious identity too. They say it's free. So I think we should try to understand today's world in order to bring Buddhism to the society. We cannot just ring the bell and ask people to come and sit and breathe in and breathe out. No. For the old generation, maybe yes, but for the young generation, no. That's why I follow the Venerable Rinpoche, always talk very practical to the young generation. That is what is needed this day. Thank you very much for your effort, very much. And one thing is, I feel that we Buddhist monks find it very difficult to adapt into the culture and the language. I'm talking about the context of Southeast Asia. Singapore is, comparing to other countries in Southeast Asia, is less religious country. But the only country which they have more Buddhist missionaries. And most, I might be wrong, but I experienced it, many monks who went to Singapore doesn't speak English. Even regardless Chinese, they don't speak English. And I don't know how can they propagate Buddha in a country where they don't understand the language. So, and our Buddhist monks find it very difficult to adapt to the local culture. That's why I appreciate the Catholic Church. They have the principle of enculturation. You have to enculture, you have to follow what the local culture do. So this is a big obstacle. And in Southeast Asia, we see a lot of things. That if I cross from one country to another, I find it's very difficult to understand the local cultures too. Here, lack of resource and support. For the Buddhist missionary, I think we do not have whatever we may call the funding for missionary. We don't have that kind. It's very individually. It's based on individually. Any monks who are committed, who try very hard to propagate Buddhism, it has to go by himself. There is no big organization that can do it. They can support it. So we are lacking of resource and support. Here, in order to bring the Buddha's teaching, one of the suggestion is, I feel that we Buddhists should in that picture there was a march called Dhammayatra. This morning, Venerable from Japanese Namyo Oriental, we also help us to walk for peace during the Civil War. So before I end my speech, I just would like to say a few words that as a Buddhist monk, I think we should be socially engaged. So we should teach the people to live on earth, not to get ready to live in the heaven. Thank you.
As someone who teaches university students, I really appreciated that, and I can see them really responding to what you're saying. And our next speaker is Mr. Parijimpa Gyatso, who is the coordinator from Southeast Asia for His Holiness the Dalai Lama's office. And Mr. Parijimpa Gyatso was born in Amdo in eastern Tibet in 1976. After finishing his high school in China, he came to India and studied at TCB school for 3 years. In the year 2000, he went to Singapore and pursued his 2-year diploma degree in business administration. And currently, he serves as the coordinator for Southeast Asia for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Thank you.
Thank you, our chairperson.